In the summer of 2012, the Los Angeles Lakers attempted to forge a new juggernaut around four potential Hall of Famers: Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, and Pau Gasol. On paper, it looked like the kind of super team that could dominate the NBA, continuing the franchise's long-standing tradition of assembling marquee talent. But despite the hype, big names, and sky-high expectation, the results were far from the dynasty many envisioned. Instead, the 2012 to 2013 Lakers became a cautionary tale about injuries, chemistry, and the inescapable weight of championship dreams in Hollywood. Today, fans recall that season as one of the most baffling what-if scenarios in recent basketball memory. To understand the optimism swirling around Los Angeles that offseason, it helps to revisit the prior context. The Lakers had last won a championship in 2010, guided by the duo of Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol under Phil Jackson. Although the team remained respectable, it had recently stumbled in the playoffs, leading the front office to hunt for a revitalizing star infusion. Kobe, by then an elder statesman but still formidable, made it clear he wanted to chase at least one more title before retirement. Enter Dwight Howard, the NBA's top defensive center, acquired in a blockbuster trade from the Orlando Magic, and Steve Nash, the two-time MVP point guard from Phoenix who had carved out a reputation for offensive brilliance. Immediately, fans and media talked about another Lakers super team, reminiscent of past star-laden rosters. As training camp opened, initial excitement overflowed. Dwight Howard brought unmatched shot blocking and rebounding at center, complementing Gasol's finesse in the post. Meanwhile, Steve Nash figured to orchestrate the offense with the pick-and-roll mastery that had made him a legend in Phoenix. Kobe Bryant, never short on ambition, vowed that this group could form the next great Laker dynasty. The phrase "title or bust" permeated discussions, with nearly everyone predicting a deep playoff run, if not an immediate championship. Yet even in those warm-up sessions, small signs of concern emerged. The bench looked thin, Dwight was coming off back surgery, and Nash, at 38, was entering the twilight of his career. Still, the biggest jolt of early uncertainty hit when Mike Brown, the head coach who had replaced Phil Jackson, was fired just 5 games into the season after a 1-4 start. Citing stylistic mismatches and a lack of confidence in Brown's system, the Lakers replaced him first with interim Bernie Bickerstaff, then hired Mike D'Antoni, a coach famous for his 7 seconds or less offense in Phoenix. But with an older Nash, a big man-oriented roster, and a star like Kobe who was used to half-court sets, the fit was anything but seamless. Friction surfaced over roles, shot distribution, and defensive schemes that rarely gelled. Meanwhile, injuries piled up. Nash missed extensive time due to a leg fracture and never fully recovered his trademark quickness. Dwight Howard, coming off a serious back surgery, seldom reached the explosive athleticism that had made him a perennial defensive player of the year. His relationship with Kobe, both intense competitors, became strained under the spotlight and the frustration of mounting losses. Gasol, once a cornerstone of 2 championship teams, found himself squeezed out in an offense ill-suited to highlight his inside-out artistry. Game after game, the Lakers labored to find consistency, vacillating between glimpses of brilliance and head-scratching collapses. Off the court, rumors brewed about locker room tension and personality clashes. Howard, accustomed to a more light-hearted approach, seemed unsettled by Kobe's relentless drive and critical style. Nash, a master in pick-and-roll attacks, found fewer open-court opportunities under the Lakers' more static approach. Fans and media pundits speculated daily on whether Howard might bolt in free agency, whether D'Antoni's system would ever properly mesh with this lineup, and whether Kobe's unrelenting workload risked burnout or injury. On nights when all 4 stars actually clicked, the Lakers looked formidable, but such nights became a rarity. As the regular season wore on, the team stumbled along near the edge of playoff contention. In a final push, Kobe willed the Lakers to scrape into the 7th seed, but at a massive cost. He tore his Achilles tendon in a late-season game, effectively ending his season and delivering a grim punctuation mark to all the hopes placed on that super team. The Lakers limped into the playoffs, only to be swept by the San Antonio Spurs in the first round. Howard was ejected in the final elimination game, frustrated and powerless as a stacked Spurs squad coasted past an injury-riddled LA roster that no longer resembled a title contender. By the summer of 2013, the dream unraveled completely. Dwight Howard departed for the Houston Rockets, seeking a fresh start. Steve Nash's health declined rapidly, limiting him to just a handful of games thereafter. Kobe began a grueling rehab from his Achilles tear, returning in the following seasons but never again leading a contending squad. Pau Gasol remained one more year before eventually moving on as well, with the Lakers sinking into a rebuild they hadn't faced in decades. Media outlets and fans looked back at that star-laden 2012 to 2013 team as one of the greatest disappointments in recent memory, given how the lineup promised so much yet delivered so little. Ultimately, the Superteam Lakers of 2012 serve as a vivid reminder that an abundance of talent does not guarantee a championship. Age, injuries, conflicting play styles, and an unsettled coaching situation all weighed them down. The star power was undeniable, 4 players with Hall of Fame credentials. But building a cohesive winning culture requires more than marquee names. It needs synergy in roles, a consistent system, and, at times, simple good fortune with health. For Los Angeles, the short-lived experiment turned into a cautionary tale, overshadowed by subsequent efforts to rebuild anew. Looking back, that one season remains a fascinating what-if scenario. If Howard had been healthy, if Nash had avoided that leg fracture, if the coaching staff had found a unified direction, might the Lakers have vied for another ring? The city of LA, long accustomed to glamour and championship, learned that stardom alone cannot always mask underlying systemic issues. Even in a place where the spotlight never fades, some rosters must align more deeply if they hope to replicate the Lakers' proud history of raising banners. In a league that thrives on star-studded lineup, the 2012 Lakers stand as an example of both the allure and the peril of assembling household names without ensuring on-court harmony. It showcased the precarious gap between hype and reality, reminding fans that winning at the highest level demands relentless work and alignment, not just highlight real skill. And for every star-laden team built since, the memory of that Laker squad remains a cautionary measure. You can't buy chemistry, nor can you outrun the passage of time. The Superteam promised glitz, but ultimately found heartbreak, leaving the city and its fans to wonder how such a bright dream could dim so fast.